American Top 40.
Which brings us right back around to number one on American Top 40 and something that hasn't happened at number one in 30 years. A foreign act holding down the top spot for 7 weeks in a row with their first hit. The last foreign act to do it? 4 guys you might have heard of. The Beatles, and a little song called I Want to Hold Your Hand. But now another foreign act does it with their first hit. For their 7th week in a row, Ace of Base has the number one record in America with All That She Wants. With all the hit history as it happens, this is American Top 40. I'm Shadoe Stevens, and this next song has definitely made history on the Hot 100. It's a movie hit that's become the longest running number one song ever for a Canadian solo singer. And along the way, it's kept 5 other songs out of number one. That is, 5 songs that peaked at number 2 below it. They were Right Here, Right Now, Passion, Every Heartbeat, It Ain't Over Till It's Over, and Fading Like a Flower. It's an unusual kind of chart feat, and it hasn't been done for more than 30 years. And this is the uncanny part. The original record setter was also a movie hit, and also by a Canadian artist. Back in 1960, the theme from A Summer Place, an instrumental by Percy Faith and his orchestra, spent 9 weeks at number one, and it also kept 5 songs out of number one. Well, 31 years later, a song from the summer movie hit Robin Hood ties the theme from A Summer Place. For a 7th stunning week, the number one song in the USA is by Bryan Adams. Everything I do it for you. That brings us to number one on American Top 40. As something happens on top that's only happened twice before in rock history. A hit that's gone to number one 3 times. That is, hitting number one, falling out, returning to number one, falling out again, and then coming back to number one again. Did you follow that? It happened a long time ago in 1955 for the 4 Aces with Love Is a Many Splendid Thing. And then flash forward to the disco 70s for Chic and Les Freaks in 1978. Also bounced in and out of that number one spot 3 times. And now it's happened again for a duo from Amsterdam, Holland. They went to number one, dropped out, bounced back to number one, fell out again, and now one more time, they return to the top. The number one song in America once again belongs to Real McCoy with Another Night. All right, now for the major news at number one. The song on top now sets a new AT40 record, and it's a big one. This week, it becomes the song that spends the most weeks at number one in the history of American Top 40. For its history-making 14th week, the number one song in America is The Sign by Ace of Base, which brings us to number one. And if you're an avid AT40 listener, this one is no surprise. This song now holds more records than Sam Goody's. It's tied for the most weeks at number one in chart history. Most weeks at number one ever for a black act. Only the second song to spend 13 straight weeks in the top spot. And now it's the longest running number one song in 42 years. For its 13th straight week, the number one song in the USA is End of the Road by Boyz II Men. And there you have it, the song that just doesn't wear out. I don't know anybody that's tired of that. An incredible stay in the top spot for Boyz II Men. This week, End of the Road spends its 13th straight week at number one. The longest run at number one since Goodnight Irene by the Weavers way back in 1950.
American Top 40!
And they are the 40 most popular records in America, straight from the official Billboard chart. I'm Shadoe Stevens. Why don't you join me again next week, won't you, as we rummage through the top songs in the USA? And until we meet again, this is your friend in the hit universe, the Shadoe. Bye-bye out there.